Are you looking at buying a home on St. George Island in Maryland? Watch this video and I want to tell you all about it before you make any decisions. All right, what's up everybody? This is Schou here with EXP Realty in Maryland. If this is your first time on our channel, let me help you make the move down to Southern Maryland. I'd be happy to help you take off some of the pressure that moving is and make it so much easier for you to come down here. Call me, text me, whatever it is, and I'd be happy to help. You can also scroll down to the first comment, click on that link, and it'll schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me where we can talk about your home buying needs. And last but not least, if you have not yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the little bell so you can be notified every single time we put out new content, and it also helps more people see my content about moving down to Southern Maryland. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I talked about, St. George Island is a really unique place and I want to tell you all about it. So I'm going to start off by just showing you on the map right now. So St. George Island is a little island in the lower Potomac in St. Mary's County. It's actually a really neat island. I lived on there for a few years. We lived on this area right here that you're looking at on the screen. And so I've got a pretty unique perspective of it. Now I'm not a local, I'm not a native to the island. You know, we moved there and moved off after about 2.5 years, like I said. I do know enough about it that I feel like I really can give you a good feel of what it's like to live on it. All right, so before we get into the present day stuff, let's talk a little bit about the history. One of St. George Island's biggest claim to fame is that they prevented a British landing in the year of 1776. There's plaques all over the island about it, and there's a little bit of debate about what really happened, but it's a really interesting piece of history that I definitely recommend you look up because it's a good read. All right, after that 1776, there's not a lot of history known about it except that Jesuit farmers were actually on the island and they were using it for their cows and their chickens and stuff like that. And it was around 1850 to 1900 when they first started selling land on St. George Island for people to come and inhabit. Now, the big change happened around 1920 when the first land bridge from Piney Point to St. George Island was put in, and that changed a lot of things. So people started leaving the island to go work on the mainland, and people started coming in from Washington, D.C. and other areas to really visit Piney Point and St. George Island as well. So 1920 was really a pivotal time, and that time between 1920 and 1950 and 60, there were just some crazy times on St. George Island where it was a really vacation destination hotspot for that, Washington, D.C. area. There's been multiple presidents and dignitaries that would come down to St. George Island at the different hotels that were on it and in Piney Point, and there's tons of history that goes with it. And still to this present day, it definitely is a place that draws a lot of tourists. There's a lot of people from Virginia and D.C. that come to the different areas on the island to either stay in an Airbnb, to fish, at the island itself, or maybe even go down to Camp Maryland at the tip of the island. All right, so you're probably wondering right now, like, what kind of houses can I find on St. George Island? Now, for housing types on St. George Island, for the most part, it's going to be single family homes. And it depends on which home it is, but they vary in the age of the construction. There can be some really old homes on there. Some of those like Sears Roebuck's kit homes are still on there. But for the most part, there's a lot of 1960s, 70s, and 80s, and there's some new construction as well on the island. A lot of the places are either water view, water access, or waterfront, of course, and some have marsh access as well. So you're going to see a lot of single family homes with water orientation because it is only a 400-acre island. Another option when you're coming and looking at St. George Island to stay, you could also come down and stay at Camp Maryland, which is a campground at the tip of the island. But also something that's really happening right now is Airbnbs are starting to become more popular, not just on the island, but just over the bridge in Piney Point. So we're seeing more and more people rent and come down here and vacation down here and eventually actually end up buying here too. You decide you want to stay down here, you decide you want to come and check it out. What do you do when you're on St. George Island? To be honest, there's not a whole bunch. It's a great relaxing place to be if you like the environment, if you want to go out on the water, paddleboard, kayak, that kind of stuff, sightsee, bird watch, and you can get around St. George Island on a golf cart or on a bike and see a lot of it just by that. Now, there is one exception to the not a lot of things to do besides nature. There's a great restaurant and a great hotel on St. George Island. The restaurant is called the Ruddy Duck Seafood and Ale House. And it's a neat restaurant because it's not like the typical seafood restaurant you would find in St. Mary's County and in Southern Maryland. It's more eclectic. There's lots of different influences that go into cooking, and they actually have their own microbrews that they serve at the restaurant as well. And it's got killer views of a sunset every single night, sunset on the Potomac. And if you get there early enough, they won't be open because they don't do breakfast most days. You can see a beautiful sunrise over St. George Creek too. It's kind of St. George Island explained. Now, there's a lot of other stuff, and it's one of those places you just got to get down here and feel what it's like. So make sure if you want to see St. George Island, if you're looking for a vacation house, if you're looking to live there full time, go ahead, call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make that move. I can show you around and show you all the different areas that I know and that are just great places to be. You can also scroll down to the first comment, click on the link, and it'll schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me where we can talk about your home buying needs. And last but not least, click the subscribe button. Click that bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content about moving to Southern Maryland. Hope to see you on the next video.